Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first ever episode of the Toasted Sushi Podcast. After months and months of planning, I finally started this. Well, planning and actually finding things to talk about. And I did find something to talk about, and it's Helldivers 2. If you have been playing games for a while, you probably know. If you don't, I'll still tell you. Helldivers 2 is a third person squad based shooter that sees the elite forces of the Helldivers battling to win an intergalactic struggle to rid the galaxy of the rising alien threats. Or kill bugs and robots to spread managed democracy. That's better. It's basically just you kill a lot of things and you fight for democracy. This is the first episode, but I'm gonna start off with a banger. It's the most America game ever. It's genuinely the most America game ever. It's made by Arrowhead Game Studios. Props to them for making such a beautiful game. It's actually a sequel. There was the first one, which was like the top view kind of game. I guess you call it the eagle's eye view game. It was like that. It was the same game just from a different angle. Now it's again the same game from a third person angle and much better graphics. That's the good part. Then comes the bad part. It's released by PlayStation. And see, me directly just saying that it's released by PlayStation being the bad part doesn't make sense. Kinda. To be honest, I've had a lot of fun with it. I still am. It's probably Game of the Year 2024. It's that good. It's one of the best games. It's changed gaming forever because pay to win isn't really a thing in Helldivers 2. You can, but you can also do that without paying, and even paying doesn't do a lot. All the things you're going to get by paying, you will still get for free very quick, like fairly quick. So, like, it doesn't really make a lot of sense to like pay for things like super credits, the in-game currency of the game. You get super credits for free. You get super credits in missions. That's like so cool. That's such a cool aspect of the game. So coming to the point of the bad part. So recently, some things happened with Helldivers 2. If you have seen on Reddit, Discords, everywhere there were news articles about it. It was big. One of the biggest L's Sony has taken. It all started at launch. That was February this year. It was a good launch, no doubt. Like there were a lot of players, but that's the thing. It was beyond the expectations of Arrowhead and PlayStation. The server was just full the entire time. Like people couldn't log in. There were like gameplay issues because of the servers being full, lag. But again, Arrowhead being the amazing people they are, fixed it. They fixed it quick, and it was quick. Like they increased the server capacity, they fixed the login issues, and during all this, one thing was changed. An existing requirement on on the Steam version, that you will need a PlayStation account to you will need to link your PlayStation account to Steam. This was made optional for the time. Like if you want, you can. You don't really need to, so that people. I think they did this so that people can just get in the game. There won't be a lot of just like, oh, do this, do that, do this, do that. There were already a lot of login issues. Login was getting long, so they just made it smaller. Like over time, the problems, server problems, the capacity and login problems were solved. The game came down to a stable number of players every day, and over time, Helldivers 2 reached like in a few months. I think in a few months, in like 2 or 3 months, Helldivers 2 sold 8 million copies. Huh? But I think it was, I think by April they sold 8 million copies, which is like 12 million today. That's a lot. So everything sounds good. What could go wrong? Well, it did on May 2nd. You remember that thing about the PlayStation Network account, PSN account being temporary, right? Well, Sony just went on Steam and put out a notice that, oh, you will need to do it now. It'll become necessary starting May 6th, but we will give you the grace period until, like, there was a grace period until June 4th. something. So like by June 4th, you have to do it. Otherwise, you just won't be able to play the game. And oh my god, the community flipped on Sony. Like Helldivers 2 went from mostly overwhelmingly positive reviews to boom within a span of 2 days. Not even 2 days, like within a span of like 36 hours, it went to overwhelmingly negative. And to be honest, me looking at it, I was like, what? How? How have all these like thousands and tens of thousands of people just come together for this? That's when you know. That's the point of Helldivers, right? Even though the each instance of a match has like 4 people in it, every planet that you free, it is done by tens of thousands of people. Everyone does their part. That happened, and the Steam reviews were bombed. Steam was just getting bombarded with refund requests. At this point, a lot of people were like, "Oh, why don't you just do it?" And yeah, you could just do it. It's not that big of a problem. Of course, people did complain about making another account, because not everyone has made a PSN account. Not everyone uses a PlayStation. A lot of people are just PC gamers. So that was one of the reasons. Then there was another reason that we have known a lot, like especially in the gaming community, that Sony has a reputation of being hacked. Like their servers being hacked a lot. Every 2 or 3 months their servers go down, something or the other, information data gets leaked, something or the other happens. Even more than this, there was one another elephant in the room. PSN accounts were only available in around 69 to around like 70 countries, whereas the game was sold to everyone. You see the problem here. By June 4th, a lot of people will just lose access to this game that they love. Why? Because Sony. Within a span of hours, this reached Arrowhead Game Studios, and their CEO Johan Pilstead, I probably butchered the name, but yeah, and he apologized for Sony's action, and then like eventually he told us, like, oh, we are in talks with Sony about this. Do not worry, we will find out a situation that will be good for both sides. So during this time, behind the scenes, Sony did something. They removed Helldivers 2 from Steam in those around 177 countries, which is still like going up, like which still went up later on. But then, of course, over time, like on May 6th, after a few days, on May 6th, during this whole thing was happened, like people were going on Twitter, there were posts coming out like we either dive. It's like one of those read we dive together or we don't. And it was very cool, and it was just looking at the whole thing happening. It was truly amazing. Just all these gamers coming together. I'm like, yeah, I good day to be a gamer. Equally bad, but yeah. So on May 6th, it all came to an end. Eventually, we got the happy ending, the good ending. Sony released a statement on Twitter saying that Twitter X, whatever the hell. Sony released a statement saying that they will not be moving forward with the mandatory PSN account linking, and buddy, oh, that was a good day. Everyone was just, the comments were filled with, yeah, we won, major order complete, stuff like that. It was just such an amazing time. So this happened, and yeah, this has to be by far one of my best moments in gaming history of my, like, I've been gaming for 14 years or what. It's been one of the best moments I've ever had, where thousands of gamers came together and we took down a multi-million dollar company. Yay! GG. But then, even now, Helldivers 2 is still delisted in those 177 or like odd countries. That's still bad. Like, not everyone is still back, but yeah. The refunds are still going back. Like, people are getting refunds. But then, I noticed something. You know, another big time game from Sony was being released on PC. It was like it was going to be a big thing for Sony. Toasted Sushima Director's Cut was coming on PC. That's when I realized this shit was a trial run. Because a few days after the Helldivers 2 things happened, Ghost of Tsushima was also delisted in the same countries. And the affected people were refunded. Huh, Sony, that's not a good move. Aha. In the end, at the end of this, we just learned one thing: that AAA game companies will truly destroy gaming. Yeah, they ruin things a lot. Like today, I got to know about Assassin's Creed Shadow, whatever what it is. Was that Assassin's Creed Shadow or something? The new Assassin's Creed, which is set up in Japan. The original story was like someone leaked the original story that was supposed to be, and it's so good. It was about like this the proper like shogunate, Tokugawa Ieyasu, all that stuff related to that. It's still that, but they brought in Yasuke, the Black Samurai, and Kunoichi, and they completely changed the story. And no, we don't need that. The original one was better. The original story that was there, we needed that. That happened, and we saw the whole, them being Ubisoft, the original, the base version, the deluxe edition, the ultimate edition, all those things. Shit costs $250. Huh? $250? Are you mad? Ubisoft. Why? Why are you doing this? Take those $250, buy indie games. Because they are less known, but oh my god, they're masterpieces. Games like Ultra Kill, games like I guess you could say Hades too, like Hades to an extent, even though Hades 2 has made it into a very big thing. Like there's games like Ultra Kill, there's games like Robo Beat, oh, there's game like Robo Quest. They're so good. Like Animal Well, they're so good. These are such good games. Play those. Assassin's Creed was good when Black Flag was like there. When Assassin's Creed 3, Assassin's Creed Black Flag, these were the good games. This Assassin's Creed Shadow, whatever, it's bad. Valhalla, I don't like it. Why does it have to be so damn costly? And even if it's like, to some extent, I will understand the pricing. Like Helldivers 2, $40. Yeah, good enough. $250, really? That's not a good price. It makes me laugh. Like, why? Like, just over time, one after the other, these big companies are just ruining things. Yeah, Microsoft, another big thing. They closed down 4 of their studios, like Arcane Austin, Arcane Austin, creators of Redfall. Then Tango Gameworks, who are the developers of Hi-Fi Rush and Evil Within. Like, man. Then I think they closed also Alpha Dog Games, who made that mobile game, Mighty Doom, and Roundhouse Studios, which then again Roundhouse is going to be absorbed by ZeniMax Online, which are the creators of Elder Scrolls Online. Yeah, fair, but the others, like, man, I'm sad that games like Dishonored, Hi-Fi Rush, Evil Within, there are no sequels coming out anytime soon. Especially, I mean, I haven't played Hi-Fi Rush, so I don't know what it's about. But like, yeah, man, it's sad. And what they say is the reason is reprioritization of titles and resources. Ah, we don't like reprioritization of a studio that made Evil with it and Dishonored. Really? They deserve that priority. Don't close them. It's so stupid of them to do that. I don't know. Like, this is my first episode. I guess I shouldn't be like talking about this negative stuff. And yeah, I just wanted to talk about this because this is a pretty big thing. Anyway, going back to just talking about video games and Helldivers, I love it. I still love Helldivers. All these games, like play indie games, especially like RoboQuest. I've been playing the demo. I haven't bought RoboQuest because why? I'm broke. I haven't bought RoboQuest. The demo itself is really good. Try it out if you have. If you can't, try it out. It's really good. It's a roguelike FPS. I don't really. It's like a Doom like roguelike FPS. Like, that's the best way I can explain it. It's a really good game. It's just a really good game. It's a lot of fun to play. Okay, so the next thing that I want to talk about is Marvel Rivals. It's amazing. For an alpha, it's amazing. And I can say that if things go well, Overwatch is done for. Overwatch is done for. Marvel Rivals is too good. Like, you play as your favorite heroes. You play as Iron Man and Spider Man and Hulk and fight against other heroes and villains like Magneto and Loki. You fight them. You can literally do the scene from Avengers where Hulk bashes Loki into the. You can do that. You can recreate it. It's one of the best games. One of the best games to come out. Helldivers being the best. It is one of the best games to come out this year, and it's looking good. The year's looking really good. We have games like Marvel Rivals. We have Arena Breakout Infinite, a free to play Tarkov. Then Helldivers 2 that came out. Hades 2. I have Hades myself. Aha, I love Hades. Yeah, there are many more games coming, and it's looking good. We have the Dragon Ball game coming out, Dragon Ball Sparkling Zero or something. It looked good. It looked good. But yeah, the year's looking good for gaming. Like, let's before I just end, I want to talk a bit more about Marvel Rivals. Like, it's still an alpha, so there are a lot of flaws. But the way they've done things, like there are things that I don't think a multiplayer game has ever done. One, portal mechanics, and you will, oh, Overwatch already has Symmetra. Yeah, but this is different. Doctor Strange has the ability to create a portal. It's it's literally just like you can see where you're going. So there, and you can do so many things with it. Like, for example, if Doctor Strange opens a portal and you like at a point and you literally like can see who is on the other side. Like if an enemy walks by, you can see them. You can see where you're going. It's so like fluid. It flows so well. It's a it's a pretty simple thing. Like, oh, it's a portal and you can see where you're going. It's like the portals from Portal 2, the game Portal. It's those portals. I have said portal so many times. I didn't realize I said portal so many times in that little time. Oh my god, I'm not used to this. It's the first episode. It's very intuitive, it's very well made. Like I'm just waiting for close beta to come out, which I hope I get access to, because there were some things like, oh, you have to be level 10 to get to be eligible for beta testing, which I did. I am level 10. Ranked is open. There are people going into ranked. Overwatch pros are already like in diamond and stuff, and like, yeah, they're Overwatch pros. Of course, they're random. But people like us, we are in the lower ranks just chilling out. People like me in silvers and silver and gold, we're just chilling down here having fun. Their character. Then the other thing that I really love is Spider-Man. The swinging is good. It's good swinging. He literally swing like the Sony Spider-Man games. It's like that. And it's also voiced by Yuri Lowenthal, the guy who voiced Spider-Man in the PlayStation games. Yay! His voice lines are very good. And there's this one voice line very else and like, don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man. It's so good. It like just like hearing it makes you laugh, just smile, like giggle like a kid. Like whenever someone says something like Hulk smash or like for mutant kind and Magneto says for mutant kind. Stuff like that. Yeah, Magneto's also there. Really cool character. I love Magneto. Then there's Loki. Loki is like, if played well, Loki's really broken because he can duplicate himself. You can have, instead of one Loki healing, you can have three Lokis healing you. And oh my god, he does a lot of healing like that. But yeah, he's really good. One of his abilities is just Baptiste's immortality field. Then his healing is like just I think is it a burst heal? I don't think it's a burst heal. It's just like hit and heal, but you can do it times three by having two of your clones, and you can swap with your clones. And his ult is basically like an echo ult. You just copy the enemy. It's really good. Like all the abilities, like they feel canon. Like they feel like, oh, this he would do that. Like this character would do that. Then there's Scarlet Witch, broken because she's Moira but better. She's DPS Moira incarnate. All the people who don't know Overwatch here are just like clueless. So sorry for that. But it's just me going on talking about stuff. You know, it's gonna be like this for a long time for a while until I just like get used to recording and just talking and stuff like this. Yeah, that was Marvel Rivals. I don't have things to talk about anymore. Haha. Okay, so before I finally, for real this time, before I will for real end it, I want to talk a little bit about the podcast itself. What will I be doing? Because since this is the first episode, I haven't done everything that I want to. In the future episodes, I will have things about. I want esports to be a part of my podcast as well. So will the same goes with like Japan. Talking about Japan, like especially like places in Japan. Like for every week, I'll pick one place and like talk about the place, like what you can do there, what there is, stuff like that. Then of course there'll be stuff about anime, like which anime has come out, how has the episodes been over the week, stuff like that. Yeah, it's basically like the podcast is just me talking about things I like, and that's what I want it to be. You know, a place for people like you and me, the like minded nerds, all of us to come together and talk about stuff. So, anyway, that is the episode for this week. We will come back next week, hopefully, talking more about Marvel Rivals, maybe. I don't know. I will talk about stuff. I will prepare stuff for next week. And I'll actually do a proper episode next week with like stuff about Japan, stuff about Wii Sports, especially like what's happening in EVCT. I follow Valorant a lot, so like we'll talk about VCT. There's a lot of stuff going on there. Since Shanghai is about to start, so I want to talk a bit about that. Then there's like anime that's been released this week, like Mushoku Tensei ended, so I want to talk about that. Slime anime, My Hero Academia. We'll start off next episode with the first place in Japan to talk about that is Tokyo. Yeah, Tokyo. I will probably keep on like multiple episodes. It's pretty big. There's a lot in Tokyo. Yeah, we'll keep that for next week, and we'll end this episode here. This one's a short one, I think. I don't know how long these episodes are gonna be. They're probably gonna be like 30 minutes, maybe 25 minutes. In the beginning, the episodes will be small. Over time, they will grow in size. They will become longer. So yeah, see you guys next week. Goodbye.